Great greetings, people of the sky, and welcome! Welcome to a special stream. It is the winner stream of the Soultree bounty event. I hope you're hyped. We are watching a lot of replays. Let me check again. I think it's 21. Yeah, 21 replays. So get yourself comfortable. Get something to drink. We will do a short break in the middle, and if you cannot stick till the end, no worries, there will be a recording of the stream, of course, provided on YouTube. Without further ado, let's go over what the event was all about. Well, you had to play on a map called the Soultree Bounty. You play on expert difficulty, and you're only allowed to use a maximum of 2 cards. As well as the restriction only tier 1 and tier 2 cards. We had some kind of ranking. The first ranking, just send in 1 replay and you will get a mini booster. That's so easy to get boosters, nice. And if you find out 5 different strategies to beat the map, you even get a general booster for everyone. That's the cool thing. But for everyone looking for a challenge, we have the unique ranking. That means you win if you have the most unique deck. So each card in each run will be counted, and the amount of users will be then applied to back to the cards. So, for example, if you play Sunstriders as well as 4 other people, you have a score of 5 for that Sunstriders. Yeah, and the points are counted for all runs, single card runs and dual card runs. And then the ranking will be split for the both things. We had a lot of prizes besides the prizes you just saw already. The booster, the mini booster and the general booster. So there was 30 booster by Voltex provided. A double ref gazer from Element-G, the guy with the limited amount of copies for ref gazers, I think. Then we have a chinchilla with a promo Lyrish Knight. Siggy provided Avatar Frost. The Skylars Reborn team, obviously, all the boosters for the 1 replay and 5 replays. Then Anomalous got some Reels, Sanctuary and Bloodhorn, and Ultralord provided another set of 30 booster, as well as copies for Harvester, Cluster Explosion Red, the Parasite-swarm, Lost Warlord, more Reel of Gifts, more of the Avatars, and more of the promo cards. And without further ado, I think it is time for replays. So let's kick things off. When we all played the map the first time, no matter if you played the original Battleforge or just are new to Skylars Reborn, there's some kind of strategy people used to do, and that is let me just put the speech down. We don't need the voice since we will do a bit of speed up here. And yeah, most people are nature players when they start playing Battleforge, and the most obvious choice is of course playing with windweavers. And at least I can tell you, I did a windweaver run when I started Battleforge because it was the best card in the game. And here we have our first replay with such a run. Just to demonstrate, everyone can join in this event. You don't need fancy cards, you don't need a fancy strategy, you just need some windweavers and another spell we are seeing later. Blackfission is now at the point where most things go south, and that is the moment when the last wave comes and Viridia casts the super spell, and you now have to be fast in killing the units. That will be the most interesting point in every run, and so I will do a fast forward to this point for most of them. So don't worry, you don't have to watch the start every time here. We're seeing the focus on the L units here with the windweavers. These are the most annoying one, maybe. Depends on your units. There are 3 whisperers in that junk as well. They can disable your units, and that's annoying as well, since you see all of these ranged units. Currently, he is sitting on 70 energy. He could summon another set of archers, but decided to not do so, instead falling back. Yeah, because now the time is up and he needs a root to buy more time. And yeah, as you can see, the Aliens are still around. The first set of Lyrish units are dying, but another root to kill off the rest of the L units, and now it's just the archers left, which are dying in a matter of seconds here. So yeah, that is the, I think, default way most people did when they first played Battleforge and were just a normal nature player. And yeah, let me switch over to the next replay. And now we see another default strategy done by a lot of people. There are some cards most people used, and sticking to nature, most people will already expect what's happening next if I say nature, and a lot of people use the strategy. Taking early tier 2, double nature. Now we see a parasite-swarm, guys, and it is not the parasite-swarm, it is the spikeroot. And as you can see, it was greedy and is losing that that unit here, EvilManiac, and that is now the point why I chose this replay, since you can also screw this up and lose your unit, and you will still be able to finish the map. You don't need to be very precise with that unit. I mean, look at this guy, he will probably die back there as well by the tower. Yeah, so you lost already 2 units, and it still looks good, right? He's kind of cleaning up the rest of the units. Very nice strategy, done by a lot of people. I think it's now one of the classic ways to beat the map. And of course, there is another default strategy people use. I guess 2 more people use. We will watch another one now before we look at some spicy replays. So, here we have a replay by Osteburger. Classic start like everyone else, doing a bit defending at the wall. And then finding the window to grab a tier 2 for the last wave. And here we have a shadow orb. So this way to go with shadow is stone-of-torment and the befallens-curse-r. You could also finish the map with just one of them, but you already see the key strategy we saw in the second replay and in this replay is multi-target damage. Your main goal is to have something which can damage multiple units at the same time. Stone-of-torment, the befallens-curse-r, the spiky, all of these are very good in defeating multiple units at the same time. And with that out of the way, we have talked about the rules, we have watched the first 3 replays. Before we are now getting into the juicy stuff, we will do the thing everyone joined the stream for, which is, of course, a round for quizzes. The choose tank. So, I hope you are all ready for a round of quiz questions. If you are new to the stream, no worries, it's quite simple. I will ask a quiz question, and you can participate by typing !Q and then the number. As you can see, people are already trying to break my system. If it's dying, we will not have quiz questions. But we are looking for a number today. So exclamation mark Q, and then you have to send in what you think is the correct answer. I hope it is clear. We will find out in a moment. So get your fingers on the keyboard, and the question is, how many cards were not played in this event? So we had a total card count of 286 cards. And you can now send in your guesses how many were not used in this event. Okay, I'm getting in some good numbers. At this point, we have a spread of 9 up to 120. The closest person will win, of course. And if some people have the same number, it will be the one who sent it in the guess first. We have 50 seconds to go. You can change your guesses if you want. And if you are joining the first time, you will see that a fancy message there with sending in your in-game name. That is needed if you're winning, so I can send the replay to the correct person. There's 20 seconds left. Gives me the moment to drink something. And I guess everyone had his chance to send in the number. So time is up in 3, 2, 1, and it's over. Let's find out what the correct answer is. The correct answer is 30. And correctly guessed by Pat Soldier. Congratulations on that one, and congratulations on your streaming booster. Yes, you can see these are the cards not used. I was a bit surprised that no one used the juice tank just for fun, just to troll. But fair enough, it's not a useful card. Yeah, besides that, I think most cards are understandable why they are not used. Maybe the shadow spell, bottom left, could be useful, but besides that, yeah, not the best cards. And with that, we are going back to some replays. Now I picked an interesting replay done by RadicalX. Why interesting? We will find out. Let's do a bit of speeding to the later stage. He was one of the players deciding to go early tier 2 and even build a power well. That is a very convoluted strategy. There was shifting in, should I go with tier 1 with power well and orb and defend this way here with the units? Most of the time you need to be a bit of body blocking, since the units attacking here have an attack command on your orb, so they will ignore your units. Doing the body blocking and then dealing damage is normally enough. And now we see the first card played. It is a power shrine. So we are playing an army deck with a shadow nature. But what is the second card, since you cannot win with just a power shrine, right? So far, nothing. Power Shrine is soon... Okay, Power Shrine is now ready to use. Power Shrine activated. Oh, that was fast. Let me slow down. There was a treasure wagon instantly killed. Let's keep it slow here. I think we will see another treasure wagon. Yeah, treasure wagon coming up. Treasure wagon getting destroyed. 2 more unbound thugs are spawned now in gang up mode. We will probably see another one. as soon as he can play the card again, instantly destroyed. And the shrine is running out. And we will probably see another one. Nope, now it's waiting for energy, I just saw. So he is down to 30 energy, nothing he can do at this point. Besides waiting for his units and waiting for 150 to summon his last treasure wagon. Total charge count of 4. Focusing on the L units currently, it seems. And there comes the treasure wagon with the ability use to kite away the units. And not all of them, it seems. Okay, now all are out of the freeze. And look at the amount of units here currently. Normally there are more units down at this point. But if you're just dealing damage with the Lyrish defenders and your thugs, yeah, it's not that easy. Treasure wagon is going down. More thugs are summoned. I guess we will see another one respawned if the cooldown runs out. Oh, all the thugs are dying. And with that, most of the units are down. Running away from these archers. And yeah, there's the last saving treasure wagon. And a last unit standing around to get killed. So yeah, you can do fancy stuff with not actually summoning more units. Instead doing a bit of delaying strategy. Let's jump over into another kind of crazy strategy. We look at a replay from Kilobajt. Let's speed up the first part of the map and check out if we see use of the same starting strategy. Nope. We will see a tier 2 build later, I guess. There you go. There's the tier 2 front going for a nature orb and summoning the amii-paladins. And what is that? A portal-nexus? Why would you build a building like this? I mean, there's nothing to teleport here, right? But there's an ability to use. So, what does the portal-nexus do? If you destroy it or if you lose it by damage, there will be a big explosion. The explosion can only damage your own units. So now he is activating the amii-paladins ability, which reflects damage upon them. And yeah, now we see an explosion. Holy crap, look at that damage. And I guess another explosion. Slow down a bit. And not yet, not yet. Okay, there you go. And with that, with just 2 buildings and 3 units, most of the army is cleared. The L units survived, but yeah, they have the highest HP pool. So they will get slaughtered now, as well as the few archers back lane there. But yeah, you can use a crazy strategy like this to beat the first part of the map with just 2 cards. And you now have the start for a nice army way to clear the rest of the map. Besides that, we have another replay. And to be fair, I think that is a very genius way. You remember what I said is the way to go to beat the map? It is multi-target damage, like the Nexus we saw in the replay before. And another unit who can deal multi-target damage. Let's think about it. There is another one a lot of players played in this season. It is a Twilight card. And is easily getting underestimated. And it is the treefiend. It is the purple affinity. And whenever the purple affinity, that yellow bar, is filled up, it will do a poison effect to all surrounding units. And yeah, as you can see, look at all these bars are now getting slowly drained down. It's not fast. It is not like the effect from Stone-of-Torment, but it still is a multi-target damage. Very useful in slaughtering armies like these. Now getting a second friend here for more poison on both sides here. These small units are already down in the back row. These are now getting undazed. That's a bit problematic. Not undazed, unfrozen. And with that, the map is done with another crazy strategy. And that is now the point where we are jumping over to the ranked replays round number 1. We are starting with the 1-card decks. Our first replay is by SK. He placed the 3rd in the ranking. And his single card he used was the Sunken Temple. So we speed things up till we are hitting tier 2. And we see already the first Sunken Temple build before even this second wave came around. Reason obviously since you have to wait till your units getting spawned here. He decided to use the purple units. Ooh, that power well, 300 left. Ooh, he invests in repairing, I guess. Yeah, it's coming back. And there you go. Final wave is arriving, getting frozen, and we see summoning of more of the units. Another Sunken Temple. Not sure if that was planned to kite them over here. Maybe. But now we are back to the normal strategy where you just put everything you have to fight against these units. Not sure why they stand around. Alright. Now everyone is on target. And yeah, it's just getting free units here. And even they are now unfrozen. You can send in just more and more and more to buy more time for your archers to deal the actual damage. Bit problematic, of course, the enemy archers, which are dealing tremendous damage against your small S units here. But L unit down, and now you can just send in your S counters from the Sunken Temple. And that was place number 3. Let's hop over to place number 2. Why the card was used so rarely? Yeah, good question. He found a way to beat the map with a unique card. And now we are looking at the replay from Bobshere. And instead of going tier 2, he instantly goes double power well. And summons green dryads. Normally you see the blue dryads getting spawned. But here it is all about the unique deck. And the unique deck means in this contest, playing the card no one else plays. And yeah, spamming Dryad Green to the limit of his power. Building the power wells that early means they are now paying off. So he is making a plus now at this point. So if you're not doing a speed run, it is not a bad decision to go for that thing. And I'm not sure what happened, but these archers here decided to join the fight later. I'm not sure if he did this by accident or if he found a strategy to delay the wave, the archer wave of the final wave. But yeah, they are joining later. They are not getting frozen. The dryads are dying out here, as well as one of the archers. And now it's more or less a round of kiting around, getting some to sleep, killing off the damage dealers, and finishing the map. Ranking place 2 in the unique ranking for 1 card. And with that, we are jumping to the winner. First place with just a single card, most unique deck. And that is Crapper. His most unique card was a Twilight card. So fitting to the last season. Let's speed things up. Hello? Hello? Oh, there you go. Speed up. Twilight card means we need tier 2. We are not seeing the power wells or orbs built earlier. And with tier 2 up, it is the twilight-brute, the nature affinity. And he is using the ability on enemies. It is a costly ability, but if the unit dies, there will be an explosion, if I have this correctly in mind. Enemy or hostile target will be killed. 20 seconds, body will poison damage. Sorry, poison 7 hostile units. So again, poison means it is a multi-target damaging ability. Another way to beat the map with... Look at this, he's just summoning 2 units so far, and then using the ability from time to time. As we see in other strategy, it's just the spamming of units, but here it worked with just using the ability and 2 very precise movements. Yeah, they are now getting out of days. Now it's time to run for your life. He nearly got them killed. So that was quite close to kill them even in the frozen state. Congratulations on that one. And with that, it is time for another quiz round. So get yourself ready. Fingers on the keyboard. And we are asking another question. And the question is... How many cards were played out in all runs? So, I mean, for example, he played currently just 2 cards in his run. We saw before the Dryad that was more like 10 or 15 cards. We had a total replay count of 901 replays. Oh, I have switched to the wrong scene. Whoopsie. You have 16 seconds left to send in your guesses. Everyone can join, but you can only win 1 booster. So even if you are getting that closest one, it will be another one getting the booster. So we see guesses starting from 3,000 up to over 100,000. I'm thinking, when I play the map, how many units and spells I use for an estimate, but that is pretty hard to tell. I mean, if you go for Stone-of-Torment, you can finish the map with just a single card, I guess. So it could be as less as 901. You have 5 seconds to go. Send in your guesses, and I have a drink. And the time is up. And the winner of the quiz question number 2 is... Siggy. Good guess. Look at this. That was very close. And as expected, we see a high number of units played, but different to a lot of other maps we are seeing here on streams, the spells are less than the buildings. So I think that's interesting. If you see every other replay, every other event or map, normally it's just a fest for spells, and here we see a lot of buildings. But enough of talk here. Before we jump over for more replays, we do a 2-minute short break. I fill up my cup of tea, and we continue our replay event in just 2 minutes. See you in a sec. Alrighty, let's go for the next set of replays. We are starting with another interesting strategy by the second place Bob, and he found another crazy way to finish the map, going tier 2, summoning a shadow-mage already before the final wave is arriving, just to kill these units, I guess, faster. And then we see the altar-of-nihil. I think you can already expect what's happening next here. We will see a fest of shadow mages, but very differently, as you probably expect. Here comes the final wave. Let's speed it up. All getting frozen. And Shadow Mage used. Followed by the ability use. You're not seeing that too often. So, ability use, send in. Next one. Ability use, send in. Explosion. And yeah, we see this cycle now continue for a while. And if you're not familiar, you can apply the ability or a spell on your own units, and they will then have a countdown. And when the countdown ticks off, there will be an explosion. And the timing is pretty good with the altar-of-nihil. So you have a small window where the explosion is faster than the timeout of the altar. Yeah, so he is doing that as long as the altar is running. And now having the problem that he is running out of targets. So he used one of these spells on a second one on the Lyrish Defender just to deal more damage. But with that, most units are now down. And the map is done. Very nice strategy. Then let's have another interesting strategy by another player. It is Sir doing a Fire Frost deck. Is that PvP? Let's check out. We are seeing the promo frost-mage. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think he was not aware that the wave is attacking over here. But he used the time wisely to summon 2 warlocks. Very interesting decision. The warlock, for everyone who is not familiar to that card, since it's not seen that often, it is providing a damage buff. Let me actually see how much it is. It's 50% more damage against frozen enemies. Different units are also ignored damage reduction by frozen targets. So this is kind of the best way to deal with frozen units. And as you can see, 2 of them are everything he wanted. He's not going for tier 2 again. He just wanted to have these 2 units and is now supporting his own units to deal with that frozen units. And look at that damage, especially against the S units. The Irish defenders are S counters. They shredding through that. Holy crap. Now we are going to the M and L units. The damage here takes a bit longer to tick. The HP is taking longer to tick down, but it's still impressive speed just by buffed S counters with only 420 damage. L counters down and only the archers remain. Okay, 1 L unit survived. But yeah, even with the knockback from the frost-mage, even better. Nice strategy. Sometimes you have to read what the cards are actually saying and not say, oh yeah, the card is bad. No, for that scenario, it was absolutely gold. And another interesting strategy we are getting here. A nature strategy. We saw before someone typing in the chat another card often used. I do not say often, but absolutely a common strategy to beat the map, especially if you in the last season and have to do it with nature. And here we have the parasite-swarm, stealing away the L units. Very good strategy if you don't have to kill them and they are joining your forces. What else do you want? His main target is, of course, taking over all the L units, and then we see something other summoned. The parasite. Only a single one here. You could also beat the map with just the parasite. It is switching targets, and I think up to 10. So very good card to finish off the map. He probably could have finished the map as well with just the parasite-swarm. I mean, look at this. Most of the units are now dead at this point. But very common strategy during the last season. And with that, we are coming to... Well, it is not a ranking, but I want to highlight some of the speedrunners. We are starting with the 15th fastest run, which is by General Pip. And he did a strategy with Frost. The fastest Frost replay, I guess. And is the White Rangers. Keep in mind, White Rangers need to be close to a building to use their ability. He built the orb, so it's more like now an use of... Oh, look at the damage here. He kills the units even before they are getting body blocked over here. White Rangers are S counters, so they are shredding through the first part here. And we see the build of the Northern Star Blue Affinity. The Blue Affinity makes that the enemy is longer frozen. I'm not sure if that also applies to the Viridia version, but the more important part is the part above, that friendly units deal more damage against frozen units. 50% more damage, that's a huge number if you deal with so many enemies. But that is very bad position here for the upcoming wave. already shooting over that wall here, or I guess through that wall, to deal more damage on the small units here. Yeah, the units are now already here. Some of them are back there. So he can find also kind of a way how to delay the enemies. Not sure how you do that. But for some reason, they are a bit later than the other ones. And now it's just the ability use of the White Rangers. The frozen units take more damage. You can see that very clearly here. And again, like I said in the beginning, multi-target damage is the way to go. Nice run. 15th fastest run with 3 minutes and 49 seconds. We are jumping over to a fire replay, which is placing number 10 in the speedrun ranking list, I guess. And to be fair, place number 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 had all the same strategy. So same speed here. And it is the most common card to use if you play fire on this map. It is the Pyromaniac. It's the red affinity. It deals more damage the longer it attacks. So, as you can see, already racking up the damage, and it gets supported by a wildfire. Yeah, you could finish the map with just the Pyromaniac, but the wildfire is the way to go if you want to do more damage, and with that finish the map faster. He is sitting on 100 energy. Will we see another wildfire just before the map ends? Nope. Map over after 3 minutes and 42 seconds. And with that, we are jumping to the fastest run of all. And can you guess which color we are seeing next? If we are talking speed runs, there is most often a shadow run incoming. Yeah. Chat already realized what we are seeing next. So it is shadow indeed, and it is a 2-card run. And now it's getting interesting. Look at this. He is running back with his Lyrish Knight and applying the befallens-curse already here in the base. So the units are actually dying before they even started to attack. And since this is such a clunked area, the curse is now spread to everyone. And these units, that is the second wave, they will not even get close to the wall since they are already dead. And everyone down, everyone down. And look at this. That is the second wave, the final wave you're seeing here lying on the ground. The only thing remaining is the Lost Taurus and the Whisperer, which are dying soon-ish as well. He's now just sitting here with his units. The Whisperers are down. There comes the Archers and the Lost Taurus. We have 2 minutes and 20 seconds at this point. Keep in mind, 2 minutes, 20 seconds. And there you go. That is the Shadow Phoenix to do the final blow. Okay, it's not the final blow, but nearly the final blow. I think the placement of the unit over here was to kite the ability use of the horror there. Nice run with that, finishing the map in 2 minutes and 44 seconds. And yeah, just a reminder, this exact card combination was used by all top 9 players. So it was not a unique strategy, but the best played out strategy done by that player. And with that, we are coming to the last quiz stream, people. So get your fingers on the keyboard. It is quiz time. And the quiz question number 3 is a bit of a unique one. And it is, how many people built power wells? Like, how many power wells were built? Sorry, not the amount of people. We are talking about the amount of power wells were built. So I guess you could go for every run, builded 2 power wells, but it could also be that someone builded only 1, someone builded none, and I guess you can also lose a power well and rebuild it, so it could be even more than 2. We have some nice guesses, a big range. And another 45 seconds to go. Let me have a sip here. Yeah, I think if you go for a run which is longer than the obvious 200 seconds, that can pay off, but often it can also be interesting to have the units summoned earlier to deal more damage instead of summoning them later with a higher energy pool. So it was probably, if some people did a bit of math here, if it's worth it or not. I did not, but you could. And the last 5 seconds to go. Send in your guesses. Time is of the essence. And the time is up. Leaving us with the winner, the closest one to the 624 was SK. Very good guess there. And I think it's quite interesting if you check out the time a power well was built. You see the most people, like half of them, went for the first, I guess, 40 seconds. Then was a long break. And then nearly around 100 seconds was another jump right behind the 100 seconds, like 90 and 110. And some people built even the power wells at 150 and 200 seconds. So not sure what's going on there. They probably didn't pay off in the end, but very interesting chart if you ask me. With that, we are going back to the round of more replays. 6 more we have prepared here. We are looking at another interesting run by Solp. It is a single card run with fire. Waiting for the units to die, and there comes a big wave, and there comes the purple blaster cannon. And did you remember what I said at the beginning? Multi-target damage. And that is another set of this color cards. This purple cannon is dealing AoE damage to every unit close by. And as you can see, you just need to spam enough of them. It feels like if you're placing a stone-of-torment without teleport. Yeah, great strategy with that. Finding the unique cards with a multi-target damage. You still have the problem with the Lost Horror and the big HP pool, but you now have enough buildings. They just take time to destroy them and getting damaged in the meantime. Yeah, just more towers, even more towers, and finishing the map after 16 seconds. Nice strategy. And when I was checking through the replays, I was wondering, what is a default color? Like for every color? We saw the windweavers, for example, for nature.
There were thugs runs, there were striker runs. What is the color for shadow? And Siggy sent in a replay to answer me that question. And the equilibrium of the Windweaver is for shadow, not the Forsakens. It is the nox-trooper, it seems. Skipping tier 2 makes you have more energy for tier 1 units. And if you just spam enough nox-troopers, you can finish the map as well. Especially look at the damage against the M units here. Focusing, of course, the Whisperers first. And now it's just kill something. It doesn't matter what you kill. Just kill it. Freeze will run out in a second. And now it's more like, can he defeat the horrors before he lose all his archers? Sometimes squad mechanics is on your side and sometimes squad mechanics is not on your side. But it paid off in the end. You can beat the map with just nox-troopers. And here we have another replay with one of the new towers used. I'm always happy if people find strategies to use new cards, even if they are not that popular. And if I talk about the new card, the new tower, I'm obviously referring can't talk anymore, to the Woodland-watch. And here, oh, that was too fast, sorry. We saw the Woodland-watch and instantly using the darkelf-assassins to put them into the tower. And now he is using poison arrows. And like I said in the beginning, multi-target damage or just poison damage is a great way to kill a lot of units. You just need to switch targets from time to time to have the most effect from that poison. We got also a replay with Woodland-watch and the poison archer from nature. So they will also apply that ability to the tower. So the result is the same, but it's about the deck combination. Ooh, we see even the use of the ability before he was putting them into the tower for more poison damage. Poison damage should be good enough without the thing. I'm not sure. Could be close. It is an expensive building instead of like the tier 1 building with similar damage. But yeah, as you can see, cleaning up the rest with the rest of the towers here. Leaving us with only one set of replays we are taking a look today. And that set is obviously the winners or the replays from the 2-card unique ranking. We are starting things off with place number 5, which is by SK. He is also using a card we saw before, and we see the nature affinity of Soul-Splicer. And here you see the shadow-mage. And I guess that is, if you think about it, a smart combination. Having a building that heals you and having a unit who needs healing to attack. And yeah, if you just look at the raw damage numbers of Shadow-mage with that 1800 damage, no counters, but still, that is a huge number. And if you can keep her alive with a building like the Soul-Splicer, that is crazy. Placing number 5. Yeah, big freeze and more shadow mages. And since there are so many corpses, the shadow mages can deal constant damage and getting healed up, more damage, healing up, and so on. Yeah, the range is now the big question. Will be the range. It's going to this spot here. Can he attack the units back there? It's close. Yeah, okay, he needs to move, but that's just 3-4 archers. Very nice run, very unique deck. And with that, we are jumping to the next replay. We are looking at a replay from Trime. Doing also tier 2 with a fire and a shadow deck. Let's speed things up. Is he going for the first power wells? Yes, double power well right after 30 seconds or so. Doing the body blocking to kill off the units, and tier 2 is up. What will we see? He's going right here with one set of archers to kite the units around. Okay, they are now getting frozen. And nothing done yet. And here we have the Aura of Corruption. You need expensive spells like this one here, the Lava Field. It's, I guess, one of the most expensive tier 2 spells you can play. With a Shadow Orb for the Aura of Corruption. And now it's waiting for the cooldown. You can play the spell again. Having an expensive spell is one thing, but also the lava field is dealing damage to units in the area. So it's also not a bad decision to have a fire spell here. And Aura is now down. He is at 100 energy. He needs a bit more to do another set. There's just the lava field without the Aura. And now it's getting juicy. And that is a situation we had in a lot of these unique runs. Since you're playing cards which are not bad, but not optimized for this situation, it's often a defending at the wall. There you come with the next Aura, just right before the unfreezing here happens. He is placing the first lava field. I guess there will be a second one in a second. As soon as the cooldown is done. Another one. Looks like a failed run. Absolutely. But I can confirm it is a valid replay. So the enemy is doing his best at that wall here. Another one of the lava fields. He is down with the M units. And now we just is waiting to kill somehow that lost horror here. In the meantime, you see Viridia is starting her journey here. Yeah, he will not support here. So there is a time limit on the map before Viridia dies. Or all of that wall is down. Next lost horror down. Only one remaining. Dodging that attack. Lava field. And finishing the map. After 7 minutes flat. Congratulations on that one. And you're saying first try? That was impressive. And with that, we are down to the last replay of today's stream. That is the winner of today's event with a double card deck. And that first place goes to Carfax. With an interesting deck combination. It is made out of life weaving and nether warp. Yeah, so life weaving as a support spell for a single unit, and nether warp something to teleport units around. Both are not doing damage. So well, let's see how you can finish the map without any damage support. He was playing the green nether warp. Green nether warp also means you are healing the unit you are porting. That means your unit, but also the units from the enemy team. kiting around one of these M units. And already 2 segments are down in that area here. The big wave is now getting spawned and getting ready to attack. We see no tier 2 build yet. I guess, why should you build tier 2 if you're not doing anything with it? Viridia is casting her spells. And we're just sitting now on 400 energy here. Switching the units to the wall segment. Still nothing happened here. The last frozen spell will be done. And Viridia is starting her journey to the Soultree. We are now on the timer. We are also now seeing the Lost Horse destroying both of the power wells. But Carafex decided, hey, look at this nice looking monument down there. I can also just build this one. So yeah, you don't need to go tier 2 at this spot. You can go tier 2 also in your main base. But look at this. The archer, just a single archer on the wall against a huge army. The other archers are now sitting here. And what was that? We see a nether warp from the army right over here to Viridia, which is supported by life weaving and getting backed up fire from the upper position here. As you can see, the Lyrish defender have the high ground. Viridia down to half HP. She's tanking what she can do, but that could be a very close call here, if you ask me. Another live weaving. The Lost Taurus are still fighting. Next nether warp, this time to the higher position here. So the archers are not attacking the Viridia with down to 700 HP, which is also now starting to attack the next units here, but she will do a freeze to buy more time, I guess. But now it's down to the defenders. 6 still alive at this point. Viridia safe with her freeze. Still 6 defenders left. All defenders survived till the end. Holy crap, but that was close. Congratulations on this giga brain idea to just ignore the way to do the map and do Viridia to support there earlier. Crazy strategy. But with that, we are already at the end of today's stream. So we only have left the rankings to take a look. This is the ranking for the 2-card challenge. So yeah, we have Carafex, Crapper, and Bushy doing the first 3 spots with very, very unique... Crapper, Bushy... Yeah, and SK, sorry, wrong chart. So yeah, very nice strategies we saw here with very low points. As you see, Crapper and Bushy, the top 7 players all had only had the same amount of points, and it was all 2. So there could be potentially a swap if one person who had not uploaded a replay. Like, you see the Sunken Temple, SK and Banana had the Sunken Temple purple. If one of them had decided, nah, I'd not play that card, the other one had a 1-point run. So it maybe was a bit of strategy and not only the uniquest deck. And the ranking for the 2 cards. Same here. As you can see, Carafex and Crapper tied with 3 points. But fun fact, the lowest points you could do with a 2-card challenge is obviously 2 cards. And Caro played the Netherwarp green and Kappa played the Warlord fire. And both of these cards were also played by Bob, who placed 3rd place. So if Bob would have not played one of these cards, he could have decided who is the winner of the event. But he decided to give both of them 1 point and so the time was the tiebreaker. And with that, we are at the end of today's stream. Don't forget, we have so many events in the pipeline. We have the Grandmaster PvP event upcoming Sunday, and then the 2v2 tournament next month. And in April, we start another round of PvE challenges. Yeah. And, oh, yeah, SK, I will share all rankings, all cards, all data in the forum post. I will do later, as well as all replays. I will also try to send out the replays, the prizes today or tomorrow. So give me a minute there. We had nearly 100 people, I think, in the event, so it's quite a lot to get moving. With that, I wish you a wonderful weekend. Play some Battleforge, and see you in the Forge or upcoming Sunday to the Grandmaster PvP event. Bye bye.